She clearly thinks that she's unpopular in this country. I don't think she wants to come back to this country. It wouldn't surprise me if she never came back to this country, to be honest.
If Harry and Meghan ever came back, I mean, as you very pointed out, we don't think we'll ever see Meghan on these shores again.
No.
Entering the royal family may be a dream for many, but for Meghan, Markle is no exception. It became a journey full of intrigue and tricks. But her mentality seems to be unstable, and her intelligence is not very clear, so after spending so much effort to achieve her goal of becoming a royal bride, she feels that it is not enough, and must do something to defeat the royal with the ambition to become a hegemon richer than the royal family. Meghan is no longer respectful to adults like before. Instead, Meghan Markle is rude and completely disrespectful when living in the royal environment. Now here's what everyone's been waiting for. The royal family is renowned for their kindness and consideration, and they go above and beyond to accept diverse viewpoints, no matter how peculiar. To put it another way, they value people for who and what they are. They have no desire to alter them. But still, there has developed a royal protocol over the ages. They discovered that everything generally goes well when they follow this set of internal guidelines. Meghan Markle came along after that, a seasoned single woman who has experienced a great deal in life, much of it in the gutter, gets picked up by Harry in a pub and brought home. Harry is unaware that this was all part of her clever scheme from the beginning. William, his shrewd brother, saw right away the risks facing not only Harry but the entire royal family, and counseled him to gently but forcefully break up with her. Ordinarily, it would be highly unusual for one royal to interfere in the life of another, and such an action would only be taken in response to a perceived threat to the monarchy's security. Without a doubt, the Queen and Charles were told about this elderly woman who was taken into the royal household at the age of 60, who had the potential to become a future His Royal Highness if they were not cautious. Undoubtedly, a hurried background investigation revealed enough to imply that she was unfit to be a princess and go by the title of Her Royal Highness. After the initial results, which were probably a year or 18 months later, I'm sure the Queen requested a thorough report on her background, and that report undoubtedly contained enough material to know everything there was to know about her. Meghan seemed to conduct herself fairly well over the first year. Harry must have thought highly of her acting abilities, as she seemed like a valuable addition to the royal family, and he held on to her throughout her bleak life. Harry was permitted to announce their engagement to Meghan in that first year, even though the Queen and King Charles allayed their concerns and knew she was nothing more than garbage from the streets. This has to occur prior to the Queen receiving a comprehensive report on Meghan. Harry was a part of all this trouble that was about to start. Harry has spent most of his life receiving therapy for anxiety-related conditions. He struggled with reading and writing, was a slow learner, and was generally regarded in the family as making bad choices. Harry undoubtedly exclaimed, "I will stamp my little feet and marry her anyway," when royal protocol demanded that he get permission before marrying Meghan. The Queen would not have encountered any issues in the past. Meghan would have been accused of being a witch for casting a spell on the helpless Harry, and she would have been burned as a witch. Harry would have been thrown into a deep dungeon and given bread and water for a period. However, those days were impossible to live up to, so in order to get what he desired, Harry married an awakened monster whose ego could cover an entire room. With millions of people in attendance, the opulent multi-million-dollar wedding was a spectacular event. Though it appears the Queen made a mistake on this occasion, the Queen was gracious and went above and beyond to make Meghan happy. William is presumably saying, "This is it, now." William, who had an unwavering devotion to his younger brother, became enraged with this woman. It would be pointless to continue discussing her bullying and how impolite she was to everyone who tried to assist her. She turned into a royal, and a pretty nasty one at that. This is how Meghan misinterpreted the royal family. They allowed her complete freedom to be herself, but instead of taking a step, she took a mile, leaving them all in complete shock as she progressively ruined herself. She would yell at anyone who dared to say no, since she only wanted things her way. Even though Meghan was always striving to outshine the Queen, the press noted that the Queen did her best to help Meghan adjust to the way things are done, even taking her under her wing. If only Meghan had acted appropriately, she would have had all she wanted for the rest of her life. Instead, she is now an outsider who survives on her cunning. There are also rumors of a Maria Gonzalez who says she worked as a maid at their home, became pregnant due to Harry, and now wants Lilibet's child back. It will stay just that until I hear that Maria has contacted the cops to take her child back by force. So Meghan has no relationship with Archie at all. She is raising the servant's child. I suspect Meghan would abuse the child and his mother. How many people can stand the sight of their husbands having children of their own? This is also the cruel, perverse Meghan. That could also be the reason why Meghan did not let Archie appear, and there was no explanation for this child. Once this child appears, Meghan may be subject to warranty charges. In addition, are you curious about what others say about Meghan? Right now, I will reveal it to you. Meghan's former boss came forward and said she was abusive to staff. She would bully people and scream and harass him via email when she didn't get what she wanted. You can read the interview online. Then, her best friend of 30 years said Meghan became unrecognizable after becoming famous, and that she no longer recognized her friend, and that the terrible way Meghan treated her first husband ended their 30-year relationship. According to her own best friend of 30 years, Meghan was not a nice person. Her uncle called her a diva. Her African-American family said she basically wanted nothing to do with them after becoming famous, and her family called her a bully and narcissist. Her sorority sister said she bullied a girl so badly she quit the sorority. Her classmate Dylan Lynch came forward and said Meghan was rude, narcissistic, and mean. One waitress who waited at her table said she was so mean she actually made her cry. Some of her Canadian friends made statements about how Meghan completely ditched them after becoming famous. After she hit it big, she was too important to sit with them. Her security guards quit because she kept putting their lives in danger. She was told how to act and was told if she didn't act a certain way, it could put all of their lives in danger. She didn't care. I guess the lives of security officers don't matter. Because Meghan Markle is famous and has famous, well-connected friends, she and her PR team can get loads of people to say only nice things about her. But her friends, family, and staff all say the same thing, that she uses people to social climb, then abandons them. Meghan Markle wants the entire world to believe she is the next Princess Diana. She wants the world to believe she is kind, compassionate, and love personified. Hearing this makes me want to vomit. The next Princess Diana? She is kindness, compassion, and love personified. You're more like a demon. The devil thought he was an angel. Meghan was not even qualified to carry Diana's slippers. Who made her so crazy? We should put her in a mental institution. It's ridiculous to be just a D-list actor, but think you're a star. When Meghan had just a few supporting roles in a few movies, she probably received a lot of compliments from people she barely knew. She loves people, asks a lot of questions, and cares about them. But in fact, I have heard that she has a temper, throws things, belittles, smears, swears, and demeans others. Her attacks on her sister-in-law are a fine example of her hateful malice. She attacks her husband's family in public. She has accused Harry's family of being toxic, racist, and selfish, especially with their money, while her own family has seen similar problems. This is not only directed at the royal family, but many others too. Often others are left wondering what happened or why is this happening. She has changed since taking a job on Suits. Her ex-husband is angry still, is not her friend, and refuses to have anything to do with her. She walks away from the marriage, sending the rings back by FedEx, and leaves him with more questions unanswered. No reconciliation attempts, no communication except through friends or lawyers. There is no closure, long goodbyes, or a peaceful ending. With a narcissistic individual, it is all about the drama. Meghan's dirty past will never be erased. Harry was truly blind when choosing Meghan. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video. And I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.